up, my dudes? It's been a hot second, but it's fine. We're
Understatement.
fine. I'm on my spring break and I'm at home, which means I get to do a video with my lovely and highly entertaining sister, Claire.
Yes,
Hi.
I'm the one who gets the views.
Truly, it's all the videos with you that have the most views. Let's be real here. So
Because they're the most interesting ones.
yeah, that's fair. So this is officially a collab channel.
I don't have a channel though.
I will link your channel.
It has one video and it's unlisted.
Today we're doing something kind of fun. Claire and I are huge fans of the theater group Starkid. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Starkid.
They've heard of it.
But they're absolutely fantastic. They do original musicals and they upload the full versions onto YouTube.
Which is why they're so popular. Is like, come on, you got like 12 musicals.
Yeah.
For free.
It's free theater. And if you don't know who they were the ones that did a Harry Potter musical. So that's really all you need to know about them. So there's 12 shows and Claire and I have ranked them all. And we have different rankings.
Somehow.
We're going to do this kind of like we did our Backyardigans ranking episode. But since there's only 12 musicals, we're going to just list off 12 through 6. And then we can kind of talk about why we put them where they went. And then we can talk about 5 through 1 more in depth. So, are you ready?
No.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Editor Grace here. I forgot to mention that there will be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen any Starkid shows, go watch them first because A, they're good, and B, because spoilers.
At number 12, I have Harry Potter Musical 3 because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Then Black Friday, Me and My Dick, Potter Musical 2, that's 4, right? So that's in the 8th spot. Firebringer.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. Trail to Oregon. And then Starship.
Wow.
Which took like a lot of
Trail to Oregon
searching.
is not very high.
No, it's not very high. I thought about it really hard, and I know it's like one of your favorites, and I know it's hysterical, but I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, when going in enjoyment factor for me, like I was thinking about all the stuff I've rewatched, and I've only like rewatched that once.
Yeah. That's fair.
It is pretty good. And then I put Starship in 6, though it was really kind of tied for 5. It took a lot to figure that out.
I think what Claire and I learned from this experience of trying to rank is that Starship is so good.
Okay, true. That is, it is though. Like, it really is. And it's just like the puppetry. It's fun to look at. Mm-hmm. It's fun to watch. It's, and then I love like the stories and like the character arcs and like just the characters in general. It's just got really good like world and
yeah, it's great.
People.
Okay, so number 12 for me is Me and My Dick because I haven't seen that one. Number 11 is Black Friday. Number 10 is Potter's Senior Year. Number 9 is Potter's Sequel. Number 8 is Potter Musical. Number 7 is Annie. And number 6 is The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. It was really, really close. Guy that didn't like musicals barely made it out.
I'm like
didn't
learning
make it in the top 5.
that we're very, very different.
Yes.
Because like you're listing off all these things that are in my top 5 and you're like,
I know.
they're just, I'll repeat mine as well.
Brief thoughts on Black Friday.
Okay.
Because we both basically ranked them last. Because the
That's
last
true.
ones that we ranked were the ones we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. So we don't need to.
I feel like Black Friday, they tried really hard to make it a thing. I think they tried really hard to like create. They're like trying to build a world. They've been doing all sorts of like through quarantine. They were doing like these Hatchetfield stories and things. And so, a Guy That Didn't Like Musicals was so popular for them that they, like, felt that they had to continue that. And I just don't get it. Like, the premise is really good. The whole, like,
There are like some really spooky moments in it where you're
Yeah.
like, why are all of the adults obsessed with
And the
this
songs
toy?
are fantastic.
No one asked for it. The songs are pretty good, yeah.
The song between, I don't even remember their characters' names. It's been...
Is it California?
Yeah, California and
MIA.
MIA is really good.
Yeah, I know, I like that one.
The duet between Dylan and the redheaded nurse that I can't remember the name of.
Exactly. You're proving the point.
Like, yeah, their duet when they're like hanging out in the movie theater and they like rekindle their like high school love. That song's fantastic. Santa Claus is going to high school.
It's
iconic.
Beautiful.
Like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and then the last song is really good too, but I felt like they just added a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, like, had returning characters, and it was just kind of like, oh, why are you're back? Oh. Like, I didn't really like Emma and, Paul being there. And I think, like, they're kind of doing, like, some sort of, like, if they make a third one, I feel like it will be more interesting.
Yeah, the story, they tried to put too much in, I feel like is really what happened. And there were a couple of songs that could have been cut out. Like, Dylan Saunders' character has 2 separate songs about how much he loves his son, who we meet for 3 seconds at the beginning of the show.
I know,
like,
right?
We didn't need... I love Dylan Saunders. He's absolutely fantastic. We can talk about him more later. But he did not need 2 songs about the same thing.
Yeah.
So...
And then I feel like there were just, like, there's, like, that whole song where, like, Dylan Saunders and the redheaded nurse, I don't know their names, oh my gosh, where they, like, see each other for the first time, and suddenly everyone is telling us why this is important that they're seeing. I'm like, this could have just, like, come up.
It's a cute, fun song, but...
Well, I feel like it just came out of the blue, just randomly. Like, if they had seen each other and were like, oh my, oh shoot, and then, like, had explained later, maybe in their romance song.
Yeah. And then they had such, like, they were trying to do everything that they were doing in Guy That Didn't Like Musicals, except just, like, they were actually trying this time, so, like, the whole, like, America's consumerist, you know, capitalism's bad song, which love Joey Richter to pieces, but didn't feel necessary.
Yeah.
But we've talked about that
low-key,
long enough.
The best part of that was the Santa Claus is going back to high school, and then when Joey Richter handed that random audience member an
apple. It's so good. Okay, you want to talk about your number 5?
Yes. My number 5 is Annie. And the reason I put it there is because I was thinking about it, and originally it was like my 7th place. It was like, it was decent. And then I looked up a picture, I looked it up, and I just saw Nick Lang, and I was just like, yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
Because, like, music-wise, it's maybe not the best, most amazing thing, because it's not actually sung by the characters, but the characters are the best part, honestly. Like, they do the same thing they did in, like, Harry Potter musical, where they, like, take these people who you know and make their personality just, like, overboard, crazy, but, like, drunk Obi-Wan is the best we could do. They made
Brent Holden as Jar Jar.
Yeah, I feel like Brent, because I actually felt really bad for Jar Jar, and I was really sad when he died, and I was like, never thought that...
Going home.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be sad about that.
I quote that musical a lot.
So much.
Yeah.
I know.
I've
lived with you.
My name is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I am a proud graduate of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I am an alcoholic. Like, I quote it a lot, but the reason I put it at number 7 was because the actors don't sing their own songs. It's the band off stage. Yeah. Which, like, they're fantastic, but I really missed the actual people singing the songs.
Of it. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of putting mine on, like, a enjoyment value type thing. Like, how much did I enjoy watching this? Would I watch this again? And I would watch Annie over and over and over again. Whereas, like, Firebringer and maybe even Starship and like the others I would watch on occasion because those are like harder to watch and go through. You're going through something, right?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
So speaking of Firebringer, that's my number 5.
Aha!
So Firebringer has a very special place in my heart because it was the first one I ever watched. And I originally looked at it as like, oh yeah, I'll watch like half an hour of this tonight. I watched the entire thing in one night, and was up until like 12 o'clock in the morning.
That's so late. Wow, that's my normal bedtime now.
I go to bed lights out are at 10:30. But
Morning person.
Yeah, really. Well, when you have to get up for 7 a.m. morning prayer.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
But it's just awesome. Like, the way it starts is so epic. The characters are so much fun. It's a really female-heavy show, which you don't see very often.
There are, like, 3 men in that show. And not only is it very, like... Because there's a lot of women in theater. And a lot of times they don't get as many roles. Like, if you're a man, you get all the roles. So, like, this show, not only do they have a bunch of women, they have them harmonizing and are all awesome. And the dancing is so much fun. Is really good.
The music is really good. The iconic, I don't want to do the work today. Like, what even more can you say like that? I sing Duck is Lord all the time.
Duck is Lord.
It's just so much fun. And, like, it makes sense. It's, well, except for the random lesbian ending. But, like, it's just, like, every character has their, like, own motivations, and it makes sense, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's smart humor. It's not just all, like, a lot of what I put in my 12 through 6 has a lot of, like, potty humor and sexual humor.
That's true.
Which is not what I find entertaining. But, like, it's smart, like, what would these people act like if this was, like, with the girl that holds up the sky? Like, that's really funny. The fact that they worship a duck, that's hilarious. Just, like, these chorn at the end is just, oh, it's so good.
You're making me feel bad for putting things, like, where I did.
But, yeah, I love Firebringer a lot. It's really great.
It is really great, yeah.
Okay, what's your number 4?
Oh, I actually know this one. My number 4 is a Harry Potter musical. The first one. And I didn't think it was going to go there. But I put it there for multiple reasons. First of all, it's, like, just iconic because it got them started and everyone knows it. And I feel like it has to go in the top 5 for that one reason. But also, I was, like, reading the Wikipedia for it, because I haven't seen it in a while, and I've only seen it once. And so I was reading the Wikipedia, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I forgot that happened. And it's really good. Like, once again, their concepts are just, they take something, it's the same thing that happened with Annie, right? They take something that you know, and they, like, really heavily characterize it and make it into, like, this very one-sided person. And it's so good. Yeah, just all the things that happen in it.
It's absolutely random, and yet it makes total sense.
It makes so much sense. And they're, like, poking fun at this, like, really good book and movie series. And, like, making fun of, like, how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of jazz. And I love that Ron's always eating. I love that Voldemort and Quirrell, like...
Yes, the way they did Voldemort and Quirrell is very clever.
It's very clever and very funny. I love Zac Efron. I really love Draco Malfoy as well.
Yes.
Just, they went over... I feel like he's a bigger deal in the Harry Potter musicals than he was in the actual book series. And Lauren Lopez is just...
He's Stan and Queen.
Beautiful. I also love that, like, the song... The Granger Danger one, where it's Joey Richter and Lauren Lopez singing about this person they're both in love with when they're currently engaged and or married, I don't know. And or married, I don't know. Like, I just, watching that now, like, 10 years ago, right? Like, that's so fun to me.
Yeah, it's very cute.
It's just really good, and I feel like they hit everything very nicely.
My number 4 is Starship.
It almost was my number 5. It was so close.
Yeah, I love Starship. It's so good. It's an early one, and it's kind of like the first one under the Starkid brand, where like Potter musicals 1 and 2 and Me and My Dick were done through the college that they were all attending, through University of Michigan. So this was the first one that they actually produced on their own, and they went all out. Like, all of the puppets are absolutely beautiful and so much fun, and just like the fun that they're able to create with the puppets. And it's just a fun sci-fi adventure that has like twists and turns, and the music is fantastic. Kick It Up a Notch is in maybe my top 10 villain songs of all time. It's so good. Dylan Saunders, we stand.
Once again.
I think this is officially a Dylan Saunders stan account.
Yeah.
But, and then just Joey Richter is so good. Little baby Joey Richter with his not quite fully there voice.
We love little baby Joey Richter.
Yeah, and the plot is so much fun as well. It's like the alien wants to be a human so that he can join the Starship Rangers, and like you have the twist of the yeah, I wanna be a Starship Ranger. Like, it's so iconic. The only thing it would have been in my top 3 if the songs were a little bit easier to sing. There's not very many songs that I can like remember off the top of my head except for Kick It Up a Notch.
I know Starship Ranger. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yes. See, but just like the more I thought about it, because I did not expect it to be this high, but the more I thought about it, I was like, just Starship is so good. So
it is,
and we love a happy ending.
I just feel like, once again, the characters are very well done. I really love the puppetry and like the stuff they can do with that. Like the big puppets especially are crazy. But I love like the whole Starship Ranger team.
Yes.
Especially Tootsie Noodles.
Yes.
And then the whole Tootsie Noodles.
Tootsie Mega Girl, Claire.
Tootsie Mega Girl, sorry. Mega Girl is awesome as well.
Yes.
Once again, why is this a Dylan Saunders fan?
Dylan Saunders, man.
What a queen. I'm like, wait, that's him as well.
Yes.
It's and Joe Walker.
Yes.
Yes, and Lauren Lopez.
Oh, they're all so good.
The whole scene where he's like, come sit on my lap. Like, I love it. It's so fun to watch.
It's so much fun.
It took me a while to watch it as well, but when I did, it was pretty good.
All right,
my turn.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Twisted. Where to get in? This is your number 1, isn't it? The spoilers, but I know you. So I guess we can talk about it more in depth then. But it's very good.
It's so good.
I put it at 3 because once again it's like harder to watch because it totally takes that whole like there is a reason for this musical and it's got like a purpose at the end, which is really good. But taking Aladdin, I love it how it's Aladdin specifically. It's not like the entirety of Disney, it's basically just Aladdin. And then retelling it from Jafar's point of view.
It's Wicked, but with Aladdin.
Exactly. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like every scene is just iconic.
Yeah.
It's really good. Dylan Saunders again, yeah, there's your fan account. Very good. And Aladdin is
Jeff Flynn.
Superb.
We also stand Jeff Flynn.
All the songs are pretty iconic as well. That's all very good. And then all of like, Ahmed is really good. You'll get there.
We'll talk about that. Okay.
But yeah, we'll talk about it later and more in depth. But that's my number 3.
My number 3 is Trail to Oregon. This was another one that I watched kind of early. Jeff Blim. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. I love the entire concept of Trail to Oregon, where it's like kind of half improv show, where you like get to name the characters at the beginning, and just like it's so much fun. Every song is an absolute bop. The cast is small but mighty. And just the way that they do it with like Joey Richter playing all of like
especially the cast. When you say it's small but mighty, they like might have the like 6 most iconic Starkid people ever in that.
And it's taking a really well-known premise, like the Trail to Oregon, like the video game, and like adding in the video game elements, like being able to name your character at the beginning. And
choosing who dies.
Okay, that is really what made me put this up so high. Is because I very much remember watching this again late at night and going, how are they going to wrap this up? There's only like 3 minutes left. And it goes to the screen where you click on which ending you want. And I just went, oh. I killed the son first time.
It's okay, I killed the daughter. Which actually I think was the best option out of all of them,
because of course I've watched all
her
of them.
Turning like her mom, like turning the trick of pretending to be dead onto her mom is just hilarious, and I was like, this is the best one that you could have chosen, honestly. They should have killed the grandpa and all, like, because he's the oldest, you know. Like, but
no, we don't have any water, but we do have these Mike's Hard Lemonades.
You can't get drunk off of Mike's Hard Lemonade. Once again, Joey Richter.
Yeah.
And
that musical, Jeff Blim is just like an absolutely incredible music and songwriter. Like, he is so good. He did Guy That Didn't Like Musicals. He did Trail to Oregon. He did Black Friday. He's just absolutely stunning. I love him so much. His Instagram is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2?
Holy Musical Batman. I bet you thought that was my number 1. Is it not yours? Shoot, that's her number 1. Yes. I guess we're gonna be talking about that one more in depth as well in a second. Holy Musical Batman is amazing, and it was really, really close with first, but I had to give it to the other one. It's so good.
It's so good.
How do you even begin? It's got a big cast.
It's huge. It's probably the biggest show they've done next to like Twisted.
Yeah.
Where it's just so many costumes.
Is happening. Yeah.
So many costumes, so many props. Yeah, a lot of people and caricatures of these really well-known characters, again, like with Star Wars and with Twisted. And it's so good.
It's a bit like the Lego Batman movie, which I really actually appreciate, but it came before, right?
Yeah. They did it first. Or like Batman's like the sad emo kid.
Yeah, and Joe Walker. He's just awesome. Everything he does. Superman is awesome. This is so good. Robin is awesome. I love how ridiculous.
We also stan Nick Lang.
Yeah, I love how like ridiculous they get together, especially. Jeff Blum. We love, and it's the candy puns. They just, and then I love
it's so well written.
All the villains just with their like themes, right? They have their own themes, and then how like Two-Faces is just the number 2. So he's stealing like $2 bills from the Second National Bank or whatever.
Yeah,
like that's just, it's awesome.
It's dumb. It's so
It's
dumb.
so dumb.
It's so good.
And it's so good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in a second.
Lopez's, okay, yeah. Go ahead. Let's get back to it.
My number 2 is Twisted.
I thought that was gonna be your number 1.
Okay, so here's my opinion on Twisted. Twisted is the best Starkid musical, but it's not my favorite. Like, Twisted is just the most well put together. It's the most coherent in its story. It's the most the music is the best. The like what they're parodying is like they parodied it so well.
Hit on the nose.
Yeah, it is. The casting is pitch perfect. Just, it has so much fun with itself. It really, like, digs into all of the plot holes of Aladdin and just makes it so much fun. No One Remembers Ahmed is a bop, and sing it all the time.
You do.
I know. The way that it all comes together in the end, they lay so many breadcrumbs. They set up so much in the first act that all comes to fruition in the second act. The whole thing with Jafar's wife and Aladdin and the genie in the lamp, it all like comes full circle, which is, it's so clever. Like the way that they do it is so clever. And it's also the only the only Starkid musical that makes me cry at the end. So it has that going for it.
It's a very good.
Yes.
It's very good.
It's also
Because
one of those.
hits all the emotions is the thing. I'm beeping, sorry. It hits all of the emotions though, because
It's hilarious, but it's also heartfelt.
it's very, because seeing Jafar in a light that he like was trying to do good, trying to follow the golden rule, lost his wife to the Sultan on his first day, and then when he says like, and then I lost her to heaven, I'm just like, oh my god!
It's like, I did not want to cry in this moment.
Yeah, and then the like realization that Jasmine is his, and suddenly like she was kind of being played off as like this kind
this
of dumb girl, you know?
Yeah.
Who can't stand up for herself, who doesn't really care about her place in life. And then she like completely changes when they find this out, and it's so sweet.
Yeah, I also quote this all the
You
time.
quote it all the time.
This is all your fault, Jafar.
This is all.
It's all your fault. And the villain song,
Yes.
like the actual, like the twisted song.
Twisted.
Oh my gosh, so good.
All I really wanted was a coat made out of puppies. No.
and then he hits, and then Dylan Saunders again. He hits you with, the road had made twist, but I will never swerve. I'll be the unsung hero and whatever anti-hero they deserve. It's so good. Like that whole yeah, Twisted's really good.
We haven't talked about Jeff Blum enough.
No, Jeff Blim is so good. It goes over the top.
And it's like the only way you could play that villain. Because if you didn't go absolutely ridiculous, he would be really creepy, right? But instead, he's like, he's a terrible person, which we love. It's really funny. Stealing everything and just...
I steal everything.
And then, the monkey, what's the monkey's name?
Monkey.
The monkey's name is Monkey. Monkey is great as well. It's just...
And Jeff Blim's abs, just...
Yeah, on full display. Same with, Jasmine, what's her name?
Yes, Rachel
She's
Soglin.
got the abs,
Yes.
too, man.
That's really why we're here, is for
It's
the
for
abs.
the ab game.
Alright.
But, yeah, it's pretty good. Yes.
So good.
My number one is the guy who didn't like musicals.
Interesting. Was this
There's
is this the first one I showed you? It might have been.
I think it
It was either this or Firebringer was the first one I showed you.
You know, you showed me Firebringer later. I think you showed me Batman second.
Yeah.
So
So
I
I think this
think
was
this
the first one we watched.
And it was for the reason that you showed me it first, that I thought it was like the one, you know. And I enjoyed it immensely, and I still enjoy it immensely, and I actually think it's the best one. I think it deserves like all the popularity it got, and I will get into it because, first of all, we gotta just talk about the concept. Because the concept, I think, is what makes this so good to me.
Agreed.
Because they decided, what if there's like a musical where the main character hated musicals, and then the world slowly started becoming a musical. But beyond that, what if all the people who were singing were evil?
Yes. I think that's the cleverest part of this, is that it's all of the music is diatonic.
Editor Grace here again. I meant diegetic, not diatonic. Diegetic and diatonic are two different things. Diegetic.
So all of the music in this show, you can very easily figure out what is wrong and when, because the characters start singing.
Because they start, yeah. And it comes about just so slowly, like, plot-wise, I just think it's very good.
It's very well
Paul
paced.
is hilarious, just always be, and then his crush on Emma's hilarious, and then the whole, please God, I need a black coffee, and then like telling her to think about the implications, and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about the implications, I didn't. It's very good, but by far the best part is at the end, where we've gotten through this, everything is like ended, you think it's ended at least, and Paul comes back, and you're like, oh, Paul, he's back.
He made it.
And then he goes, Emma. And you're like, oh no, Paul. Like, he's just singing.
It's a great
and
payoff.
immediately you're just like, no.
I'm sorry.
He's been
The
taken
best part of
over.
that show is show-stopping
Okay,
number.
no. Okay, maybe agree. Well, yes. Show-stopping number.
Robert Mannion, we
Robert
also have not
Mannion.
talked about enough.
And no. Because this
That
is,
man.
it's so good. Just like the fact that this like this crazy scientist guy, and he's like living in his house at all times. He's in love with Alexa, and and once again, it's that payoff of like, he's like, oh, my true passion is song and dance, and
Yeah.
you're just like, no, why?
Oh, it's so good. Working Boys.
It's, yes, Working Boys is hilarious. Joey Richter.
Joey Richter. We stand a queen. I love
So good.
Joey Richter
I love
as a
Joey-
bad guy.
Yeah, Joey Richter as a bad guy is honestly just really good, which is kind of what makes Spies Are Forever work really well as well. But we're not talking about Spies Are Forever. Where did my train of thought go? You just made it
The
jump
music.
off a cliff. Oh yeah, Not Your Seat is really good.
Oh, so
Which
good.
we didn't talk about Mariah
Mariah
Rose
Smith. She's so good.
who is really good. And I'm like, how did they get her when then she like went on to go to Broadway? Like
Yeah.
they should get more people on, because apparently a lot of people go to Broadway after Starkid. But she's just really good. All of like the supporting cast is just very good, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
And once again, it's like you're intelligent funny, and beyond that, it's like kind of that horror-ish element. I actually really enjoy the end of the world element. I really enjoy. What's the guy's name? It's Jeff Blim, and he sells him to wear a watch.
Captain McNamara.
Yeah, McNamara. We stan McNamara.
Do you like coffee, Paul?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Wait, does he say yes,
Yes.
sir? And he's like,
Goddamn
"Blooded
red-blooded American.
American."
It's so good.
See, it's just got really good gags, and it's ill intelligent, like you said.
Yeah, it's smart.
And I think it's deserving of all of the praise it got. And really, I would have loved it if they just like kept it as it is and not added more. But that's a personal opinion, and you can fight me about it. Okay, talk about Holy Musical Batman. Girl.
Yeah, Holy Musical Batman. I told Claire earlier today, this show got me with 2 words. 1 shot, 2 shots, the night and they're gone and he's all alone. That's Dylan Saunders. singing
Welcome
that.
back to the Dylan
Welcome back to the
Saunders.
Dinner Saunders stand account.
Dinner Saunders?
Dylan Saunders
Dinner
stand
Saunders.
account.
Stan account, fan account, that we
This
stan.
show is just so good. The techno pop music, the sheer
Yes.
absurdity of it. It's
so good.
It's the costumes are absolutely phenomenal. The plot is hilarious.
So funny.
Just the dynamic between Batman and Robin. Just the fun that this show has.
It's so fun. I feel like
It's-
everyone is just out there having the best time of their lives, and you can
Yes.
see it. Alfred is great.
Alfred is fantastic.
Superman is
Yes, Superman is so
Fantastic.
funny. They poke fun at just all of the tropes, all like the
stuff.
secret identity tropes, the like relationship between Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
Jeff Blynn as the Candyman with all of the candy puns, the sheer
candy
amount
puns.
of candy puns
And,
that
like,
that
I'm
poor
like,
man
how
had
does
to
he-
memorize, and the
More
amount
than
of,
that, where they are.
I know the amount of candy that this man has on his person.
Like, what if you pick up the wrong one? Like,
Yeah.
what would you do?
The dancing is fantastic. The choreography is fantastic. Like all the fight choreography. The music is just so much fun. That kind of like, it's not quite. It's like 80s pop. It's like kind of that transition between 70s and 80s pop music. And it's just so stupidly funny. Like it
Funny.
makes me laugh so hard. The whole
Every time.
the fight between Batman and Superman, where they're like going at each other. He's like, I'm gonna show you what it means to be a man, man.
Beautiful.
It's so good. Just the emo sad boy Batman, I think, is just the best version of Batman you can have, where he's just like this depressed, lonely
Once again,
loser.
yeah, that's why Lego Batman worked really well as well. It's like that is just the best version of Batman. Like it works as being an extreme because comics are already very extreme. So upping them to the level that they have it makes sense and is hilarious.
Yes.
Like,
It's so good.
yeah.
Nick Lang as Robin makes the show straight up.
Let's just like Nick Lang. We love him.
We stand so much.
stand.
His Obama impression at the end of the show. Oh, it's so good. It's I want to be your friend forever.
I want
to be a modern dancer. It's a weird thing to say that came out of nowhere. Yeah, I sing it all the time.
All the time. Yeah, once again, the music slaps. The reason I didn't like put this at my number one was that of plot, because I feel like the plot isn't as important to this show. I feel like all of like the small things that happen are way more important.
Yeah.
than
The characters are
the
more
characters
important than the plot.
are more important. Like Commissioner Gordon, Lauren Lopez. I love their water shots. This show's so stupid. He's poisoning the water supply, and then they're like, let's do water shots.
Yeah.
And then Superman flying back in time to fix everything. It's pretty good.
It's so good. And I will watch it over and over again and always find it hilarious.
And, I actually really appreciate that they didn't have, like, Joker in it. Like, I appreciate that they're like, that has been done enough, thank you. Let's just create our own villain.
And just, like, the ridiculous villains that they bring out. Because they, like, bring out some real ones, like Calendar Man. But then they also have some completely fake ones.
It's
But
like, which one is which?
Yeah. But it's good. It's Lego Batman before Lego Batman was a thing. So
And Lego Batman is amazing, so obviously that one should be too. Like, I really am fine with, like, Batman musical, and guy who doesn't like musicals, like, going wherever, man. Like, it's really good.
So I think what we learned from today is that Dylan Saunders is
And
the absolute best.
Nick Lang.
And Nick Lang. And Jeff Blynn.
Just keep...
We have no choice but to stand.
Yeah.
So, this was a fun little video. It caused me a lot of existential pain. If you like this video, let us
Like it.
Like it.
Like it.
Those make me feel good about myself.
If you are really mad at it and don't like it, then leave a comment saying, hey, Grace, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. Claire's list was obviously the superior one, and I'm gonna go subscribe to her channel where there are no videos. Go do that.
Leave us your list. What do you
think?
you seen Starkid? And if you haven't, you should. It is not child friendly, I will say that. But it is just a wild ride. And once you're in, there's no way out. Cool. Well,
What's coming in the summer?
something. I don't know.
You want to read another fan fiction, Grace?
I really don't.
You want to read Twilight?
I'm scarred for life from my fanfiction.
I thought it was hilarious. I especially liked that part, which I didn't like. I didn't like any of it. It was really bad, but I'm allowed to say that, so.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you sometime
Bonsoir.
in the future.
Au revoir.
Peace.
Salut.